Our next guest has had a successful career in movies, in television, and on Broadway. Actor Richard Schiff is here today. He's going to tell us about his starring role in Hughie, which he is performing at the Shakespeare Theater Company, starting tonight, right, Richard?
So I hear.
Wow. And you had your first dress rehearsal last night?
First invited dress, so there were some people.
How'd it go?
It was nerve-wracking. I don't know. I don't know why, but always the first time, it's just a jittery experience, and it went well, from what I understand.
So even
I don't remember too much of it.
Even with all these, wonderful acting career jobs under your belt, you still get those jitters.
Yeah. And it's shocking to me. Disappointing on one level, but then it makes sense on another level. I guess it's like these guys who are playing the Super Bowl on Sunday. They've been training their whole lives for it, but they're still going to have some nerves, right?
And we were just talking about Barbra Streisand, who is always, she's got that stage fright.
She does,
every time she gets up to sing.
She's afraid she's going to forget the words to songs, and I understand that fear really well.
Okay. Well, hopefully you won't show it tonight. We won't know. But this is called Hughie. This is an O'Neill play, and you have this little lead role.
Well, there's two roles in it, and really they're both very good roles. But this my guy talks most of the time. He's kind of a two-bit hustler from the old days on Broadway, 1928, and he's coming home from a 5-day binge in a Fleabag hotel, lamenting the loss of his only friend, who was the last night clerk. So he tries to make friends with the new night clerk. It's O'Neill's. He's writing about the guys that have the pipe dreams, like An Iceman Cometh. The guys who try to delude themselves into not feeling the pain of everyday life. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful little play. So
this guy has some likable characteristics.
Well, he's really good looking.
Of course he is.
He's really, really good looking, from what I hear. No, absolutely redeeming. I mean, he's not a, he's just a guy struggling to try to get along, and he's got these delusions of himself that he wants to prop up because, to keep from falling down too far. It's, it's what great American drama is made of, and O'Neill was the founding father of it all. I just come from doing Glengarry, Glen Ross on Broadway just now, and you can see the, where Mamet is on the direct lineage, David Mamet, from Eugene O'Neill.
Oh, that must have been quite an experience to be. Well, I know you've been on Broadway. That's the place to be, right? And when you're an actor, you want to be on stage.
There's something very special about being on stage. There's something very scary about it, and very special when it works well. When it becomes phenomenal, it's the best thing in the world. When it's bad, it's the worst thing in the world. So, yeah, it's for some reason we're drawn to being on stage. It kind of tests your mettle.
Yeah, there's an energy about having eyeballs looking back at you, and that immediate reaction. I mean, either they like it or they don't, and they let you know.
No, there's that, but there's just an energy, a collective energy of a group, and it changes every night. Even if you don't feel you've changed so much, that just the energy of the crowd is different. I noticed on Broadway the Saturday night crowds, for instance, are full and a little bit loaded. So they're a little quieter. They sit back in their seats a little bit. Thursday nights, for some reason, they tend to be like, okay, the weekend's coming. Let's have some fun. And those audiences seem to be, more alert and more participally. But it's fascinating.
I had never heard that. That is an interesting.
Yeah, no, this is something I learned.
Take.
I mean, this is my Broadway debut, and all the guys were telling me, Thursday night it's going to be a great crowd.
Thursday night's the good crowd. Now, have you ever worked in the Shakespeare before? Is this your first time?
I did. This happened because I did a Will on the Hill benefit last year or the year before, and I happened to be in D.C. and I was happy to help out. They had offered me a part before, which I could not do because I was busy, and I did a Will on the Hill benefit where senators and congressmen and judges dress up in Elizabethan garb, and we did some bits from Romeo and Juliet, and they were so cute. You wonder why they can't get along during the day.
Oh, you wonder. But it happens. It's real, isn't it? Inside the Beltway.
That's how this originated, this idea.
Now, people look at you and they say, oh, I know him. He's from The West Wing. I mean, that's probably the role that you get recognized the most for, isn't it?
That and Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Yes, The West Wing, yes, for sure.
What was it like to be part of that production that went on for what, 6, 7 years?
7 years.
That was quite a run.
Yeah, you know, looking back on it, it was quite remarkable. When you're in it, you're just kind of in there solving problems every day and doing your work. So I wasn't quite aware until years gone by that that it was having such an effect on people. You know what I mean?
You played Toby Ziegler. You won an Emmy for that.
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You're a little late for the congratulations, but I appreciate it.
That's great. Now, you've done lots of other things, and I understand that you did some work in one production, and that's where Steven Spielberg saw you and actually ended up casting you in a movie as a result.
It was a very odd set of circumstances. Yeah, I was going way out to Chatsworth, which is a suburb in Los Angeles, to audition for this role I didn't think I would get. And it was raining, and I almost turned around and went home. I ended up doing the audition. It was a really beautiful character, actually, not too dissimilar from Hughie in many ways, actually. And the casting director who was taping it, and she was the only person in the room, said absolutely nothing and left. Picked up the tape. In those days it was tape, and just walked in the other room and left. And I was like, I thought that was kind of rude. I got a call on the way home that not only did I get that part, but Steven Spielberg wants you for his next movie. And I'm sorry? Huh? Well, this was a TV show that he was producing. He happened to be in the next room, and the casting director just immediately went to the next room where Steven was, and he saw the tape, and he went, I want this guy for the, you know, so I ended up being so much dinosaur chum in The Lost World.
What a great story. I love that. You never know how you're going over in an audition, right?
Yeah, no, you never
they
know.
don't let
Exactly
you know.
right.
That's
exactly right.
So you are originally from Bethesda.
I was born in Bethesda, Maryland, spent 2 days there. My parents were living in Falls Church, Virginia, and we moved back to Brooklyn when I was 2 months old. So while this area likes to claim me as a native, and
yes, we will.
I'm perfectly fine with that. It feels like a homecoming anyway, because we shot so much of The West Wing here. You know, 4 times a year we'd come here, and I got to know Washington very well in those days, and so it still feels like a coming home.
Well, good to know, and more, more movies and TV shows are being shot right around here,
yes,
so we may
true.
see you again in the future.
That's
Richard Schiff, he's on stage in Hughie at the Shakespeare Theater Company. Come out and see him, and it runs through March 17th, right?
Yes.
All right. Good luck to you. Break a leg tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Richard.
Pleasure to meet you.